My wife demanded, "My sister and mom are moving in if you can't handle it. It's over." I said, "Okay, it's over." I packed my bags and left the house, which is a rental in her name. Now she, her mom, and her sister are all panicking about rent. Original post. I 33 male just walked out of my marriage 3 days ago and I'm still processing everything. My wife 31 and I have been married for 4 years, together for 6. The rental house we live in is in her name only. She signed a lease 2 years ago when we moved in because her credit score was better at the time. Monthly rent is $2,400. Here's the thing though, I've been paying $2,000 of that every month. She contributes $400 from her part-time retail job that brings in maybe $1,800 per month. I make around $75,000 as an IT project manager. This arrangement worked fine. I covered most bills. She handled groceries and her own expenses. Not perfectly equal but functional. We were saving for a house down payment. While I was saving, my account had about $28,000 set aside for it. Last Tuesday, I get home from work around 6 p.m. My wife sitting at the kitchen table with her mom and her younger sister, 28F, immediate red flag. Her mom lives 2 hours away and her sister lives across the country. "What are they doing here on a random Tuesday? We need to talk," my wife says. I sit down. "Okay, what's up?" Her mom jumps in. "I'm losing my apartment. Rent went up $600 and I can't afford on disability." Her sister adds, "And I just lost my job. Can't make rent in my city anymore. Need to regroup." I'm looking between the three of them waiting for the punchline. It doesn't come. My wife takes my hand, so they're going to move in with us. It makes sense. We have 3 bedrooms. They need help. We're family. I pull my hand back. "Wait, what? You're deciding this without asking me?" "I'm telling you this is happening. They're family." "How long are we talking?" Her mom, "Until I find something affordable. Maybe 6 months. Her sister, same. "Until I find a new job and save up first and last month rent. Probably 6 months. Maybe a year, possibly longer." Because let's be real, these timelines always extend. "Where's my input in this?" I asked. My wife's face hardened. "They're my family. My name is on the lease. If you can't handle supporting family when they need help, maybe we need to reconsider things." The ultimatum right there in front of her mom and sister, who were both nodding along like this was perfectly reasonable. I sat there for maybe 10 seconds. Thought about the next 6 months to a year. Sharing space with my mother-in-law and sister-in-law, no privacy. My money supporting 4 adults instead of 2, all while my wife acts like I'm a bad guy if I object. "Okay," I said. She blinked. "Okay, what?" "Okay, we're done. If that's how you want to play it, we're over." Dead silence. Her mom's jaw actually dropped. "You're what?" My wife stood up. "You're seriously breaking up our marriage over this?" "No, you issued an ultimatum. I'm just accepting one of the options you gave me. You said if I can't handle it, we're over." "I can't handle it, so we're over." "I didn't mean it like that." "Then you shouldn't have said it. You made a unilateral decision about our living situation. Told me your name's on the lease so my opinion doesn't matter and gave me an ultimatum. I'm choosing the door." I stood up and went to the bedroom, started packing. They all followed, talking over each other. "Wife, you're being ridiculous." Her mom, "This is what marriage is about, supporting each other." Her sister, "Wow, so you're just abandoning her when family needs help." I kept packing. Clothes, toiletries, laptop, important documents. Took about 40 minutes to get the essentials. My wife was crying now. "Where are you even going to go?" "Hotel tonight." "Figure out the rest tomorrow. You can't just leave. Watch me. The lease is in your name, like you said, so it's your problem now. You want to move them in? Go ahead, but I'm not paying for it." Her mom got on my face. "You're married, you have obligations. And she just told me I have no say in our home. Can't have it both ways." I grabbed my bags and walked out, got on my car while they stood in the driveway. My wife was screaming something about me being selfish and abandoning her. I drove to a Hampton Inn, checked in, and sat on the bed just breathing. My phone started blowing up immediately, wife calling over and over, text messages from her mom, her sister. I turned it off and went to sleep. The next morning I called a buddy from work who's going through a divorce, got a lawyer referral, called and set up a consultation for Friday. Thursday morning I turned my phone back on, 86 text messages. I'll spare you all of them but highlights. "Wife, please come home, we can talk about this." "Wife, you're overreacting." "Wife, how am I supposed to pay rent?" Her mom, "You're a disgrace, abandoning your wife in her time of need." Her sister, "Hope you're happy leaving 3 women homeless." That last one made me laugh. Homeless, they have a whole house, they just can't afford it. I didn't respond to any of them. When I work, did my job, kept my phone on silent. Friday consultation with a lawyer was enlightening. Since the house is in her name only and we rent, I have zero obligation to keep paying. He advised documenting everything, especially the ultimatum and the unilateral decision-making. That evening I sent one text to my wife. I meant what I said. "We're done, get a lawyer." All communication goes through them from now on. Then I blocked her number, blocked her mom, blocked her sister. Found a decent 1-bedroom apartment that I can move into in 2 weeks. $1,400 per month, which is actually cheaper than what I was paying before. The reality is setting in for them now, I think. The first of the month is coming up. $2,400 rent due. My wife makes $1,800 per month. Her mom gets maybe $1,200 per month disability. Her sister has 0 income. Even combined, they're $600 short. And that's just rent, not utilities, not food, not anything else. I feel weirdly calm about all this. Like I should be more torn up, but mostly I just feel free. They made their choice. Now they get to live with it. Update 1 week later, so it's been a week since I walked out. The first of the month came and went. From what I understand through mutual friends, it went exactly as badly as you'd expect. My wife tried calling from different numbers. I blocked them all. She showed up at my work Wednesday afternoon. Security stopped her in the lobby. She was crying, making a scene, saying I was abandoning her. My boss actually called me down to handle it. I went to the lobby, stayed professional. We're separated. Please leave my workplace. We need to talk about rent. I can't afford it. That's not my problem anymore. The house is in your name. You issued the ultimatum. I accepted it. We're done. You can't just stop paying bills. We're married. Get a lawyer. All communication goes through them. I'm not discussing this here. Security has scored her out. My boss pulled me aside after concerned. I explained the situation briefly. Wife wanted to move her mom and sister in. Gave me an ultimatum. I left. He was understanding, told me to let him know if she shows up again and I'll handle it. Thursday, I got my first legal contact. Her lawyer sent a letter to mine demanding I continue paying marital expenses, including rent, utilities, and groceries. My lawyer laughed when he read it to me over the phone. The house isn't in your name. You have no legal obligation to the lease. And she issued an ultimatum that ended the relationship. Tell me, did she move her family in yet? I don't know, have it been back, doesn't matter, her case is weak. I'll respond, but this is pretty cut and dry. Friday evening, I got a series of increasingly desperate texts from a number I didn't have blocked. Her sister, you need to help with rent. Mom had to loan us money and she can't afford it. Sister, we're going to get evicted because of you. Sister, at least pay through the end of the lease so we can find something else. Sister, you're really going to let your wife become homeless? I responded to only one. I left because I wasn't wanted unless I was a wallet. Block this number. Then I blocked her too. Through a mutual friend, my buddy's girlfriend knows my wife casually. I found out what actually happened. Her mom loaned them $1,500 to cover most of the rent, except her mom doesn't have $1,500 to spare. So she took a payday loan, 30% interest. They're all now crammed in the house together, and apparently it's already tense. Her mom and sister are fighting about who gets which bedroom. My wife's freaking out because she realizes they can't sustain this. Even with her mom's loan, they're still short, and that loan needs to be paid back. Her sister's been applying to jobs but hasn't got anything yet. Been 1 week. It'll be weeks more minimum before she has income. The landlord apparently called asking if there are now 4 people on the lease. Someone must have seen the movie Stuff In. My wife tried to say it's temporary guests, but the lease apparently has a clause about long-term guests needing to be added. The desperation is starting to set in over there. Meanwhile, I've been really okay. Like I thought I'd be devastated. This was my marriage. But every day I wake up feeling lighter. No more walking on eggshells. No more being told my opinions don't matter. No more funding someone else's entitlement. My new apartment is ready early. Moving in this weekend, 1 bedroom, my own space, my own rules. Rent is $1,400. I'm saving $600 per month from what I was paying before. Plus, I don't have to cover utilities for a whole house or subsidize anyone else's lifestyle. I've been meal prepping, hitting the gym at my apartment complex, actually enjoying my evenings. Reading books I've been putting off, gaming online with buddies, just living. The weird part is the anger from them. They're mad at me, like I somehow wronged them by not rolling over and accepting the ultimatum. The entitlement is staggering. Her mom sent an email. Guess she found my work email with the subject line disappointing. The body was a long rant about how I'm failing as a husband, how family supports family, how I'm abandoning my vows, how I'm going to regret this. I forwarded it to my lawyer and deleted it. My wife's lawyer sent another letter demanding I attend mediation. My lawyer responded that I'm willing to mediate the divorce proceedings, but I won't be resuming any financial support for them. Here's the thing they don't seem to get. They played hardball, issued an ultimatum, made demands, and now they're shocked that I called their bluff. You don't get to say accept this or we're done, and then be surprised when someone picks option B, the lease is up in 4 months. I'm curious what they're going to do when renewal comes up, and they need to either sign a new lease and prove they can afford it or move out. My wife definitely can't afford $2,400 per month on her own, and I doubt the landlord will let her mom and sister onto the lease with their financial situations. This whole thing could have been avoided with a simple conversation. Hey, my mom and sister are struggling. Can we talk about potentially helping them short term? But instead it was demands, ultimatums, and entitlement. Natural consequences are a beautiful thing. Update 2-3 weeks later. Things have escalated in ways I didn't expect, and honestly it's been kind of entertaining to watch from a distance. First, the divorce is moving forward. My lawyer filed. Her lawyer tried to claim I abandoned the marital home and therefore should continue paying rent until the divorce is final. Judge laughed it out of the hearing. Figuratively, judges don't actually laugh, but you could tell he wasn't buying it. Especially after my lawyer presented the text where she issued the ultimatum and made it clear the house was hers since her name was on the lease. Judge's ruling. No obligation to pay rent on a property not in my name, especially given the circumstances of separation. Did order me to maintain my health insurance for her until divorce is final? Fine, it's like $80 per month more, otherwise clean break on finances. My wife apparently lost it in the hallway after the hearing. Her lawyer had to calm her down. She kept yelling about how I trapped her and how was she supposed to afford rent. Her lawyer apparently told her that's not how any of this works and maybe she should have thought of that before the ultimatum. But here's where it gets interesting. Week 2 after I left, her sister got a job, part-time retail like my wife, bringing in maybe $1,600 per month. You think this would help, right? Wrong. Turns out her sister immediately decided she needed a car. Can't get a work reliably otherwise. Public transit where we live is trash, admittedly. But she has no savings and bad credit, so she asked my wife to cosign an auto loan. My wife, desperate to keep her sister there to help with rent, agreed. Cosign for a used Honda, payments of $380 per month. Think about that. They're already struggling with rent and she just added a $380 per month obligation to her name. Her sister's supposed to make the payments. But guess who's legally on the hook if she doesn't? Found this out through the mutual friend again. Apparently there was a huge fight about it after the papers were signed. Her mom was screaming about financial irresponsibility. My wife was crying that she had no choice. Her sister was defensive, saying she needed a car to work and it's not her fault everything costs so much. The math isn't matching over there. My wife makes $1,800. Rent is $2,400. That's already minus $600 before utilities, food, gas, anything else. Her mom's $1,200 disability all goes to her own expenses and she's still trying to pay back that payday loan. Her sister makes $1,600 but $380 goes to the car, leaving $1,220. $1,800 plus $1,220 equals $3,020 total household income. Not counting the mom's money since she's covering her own stuff. $2,400 rent plus $200 utilities plus $380 car plus groceries plus gas equals they're drowning. Week 3, the landlord apparently did an inspection, maybe suspicious about unauthorized occupants. Found that her sister had painted one of the bedrooms without permission. Neon purple, the lease explicitly forbids painting without landlord approval. Landlord sent a notice, either repainted to the original color within 30 days or face a $500 fine plus potential non-renewal of lease. They don't have $500, they barely have rent and paint supplies plus labor. They're looking at $200 to $300 to fix it properly. Her sister's response, according to the grapevine, I didn't know I couldn't paint. It's our room now. The entitlement is generational, apparently. Meanwhile, I moved into my new place. It's smaller, but it's mine. In this kitchen, my own bathroom that doesn't have anyone else's stuff cluttering it. The financial freedom is incredible. After rent, utilities, food, gas, everything, I'm still saving $800 to $1,000 per month. Remember that house down payment fund? It's growing again. I'm on track to actually buy a place in the next year or two. My wife tried one more time to contact me through a friend of friend. Sent a message saying she understands I'm upset, but can we please work this out? She misses me. Things are really hard right now. I sent back, get the divorce finalized. That's working out. The divorce should be final in another month or so. We don't have kids, don't own property together, no shared debt. Just splitting what little marital assets we have. Basically furniture, she can keep it, I don't want it. The only real negotiation is the tax refund from last year, which we're splitting 50-50. It's about $3,400 total, so $1,700 each. I'll take it. Her lawyer tried to argue I should give her my half to help with expenses. My lawyer shut that down immediately. My client's expenses aren't subsidizing her poor decisions anymore. Split for the law. The final hearing is scheduled for next month. After that, I'm completely free. I ran into one of her cousins at the grocery store last week. She tried to give me the family loyalty speech. You're really going to abandon her like this? When her family needs help, I was polite but firm. She chose her family over our marriage when she issued that ultimatum. I'm just respecting her priorities, but she's struggling. Don't you care? I care that I was treated like an ATM machine instead of a partner. She made choices. These are the consequences. You're so cold. No, I'm just done being a doormat. She huffed and walked away. Here's the thing that nobody on her side seems to get. I didn't create this situation, I responded to it. She decided to move her family in without discussion. She issued the ultimatum. She said my opinion didn't matter because the lease was in her name. All I did was take her at her word. And now that the consequences are hitting, suddenly I'm the villain for not saving them from their own choices. The audacity is almost impressive. Final update 6 weeks later. The divorce is final, signed, sealed, delivered. I'm officially single again as of 3 days ago. The hearing was quick. Judge reviewed the separation agreement, asked if we both understood and agreed to terms, signed off. Total time maybe 15 minutes. My wife looked miserable. I felt nothing. We split the tax refund 50-50 like agreed. $1,700 each. I put mine in savings. She probably used hers for rent, but here's where everything really fell apart for them. For weeks ago, about 2 weeks after my last update, her mom apparently had a medical emergency. Nothing life-threatening, but she needed an ER visit and some follow-up care. She's on disability with Medicare, but there are still copays and medication costs. Set them back about $800 out of pocket. $800 they didn't have, so they missed rent, first time ever. Landlord sent a 5-day notice to pay or quit. My wife called me. I didn't answer. She left a voicemail begging me to just help this one time. Please, I'll pay you back. We'll figure something out. I didn't respond. Not my circus, not my monkeys anymore. They managed to scrape together enough. I think her sister borrowed from a friend to avoid immediate eviction, but they were now behind and the landlord was watching them closely. 2 weeks after that, 1 week ago, the landlord served notice of non-renewal. The lease is up in 2 months and he's not renewing. Cited multiple violations: unauthorized occupants, unauthorized painting, late rent, too many people for the property. Apparently there's an occupancy limit and 4 adults exceeds it. They have 2 months to find a new place. The problem? Nobody wants to rent to them. My wife has an eviction scare on her record now, even though she paid that 5-day notice shows up in background checks. Her credit took a hit from the late payment. Her sister has bad credit and no rental history. Her mom's on disability with minimal income. They applied to 3 places this past week, all rejected. They're starting to panic about potentially being actually homeless. My ex-wife feels good to say that. Tried to contact me through a lawyer one last time. Asked if I would consider co-signing a lease for them just to help them get on their feet. My lawyer didn't even bring it to me. Just responded, absolutely not. Client has no obligation to assist former spouse with housing, especially given the circumstances of the separation. Do not contact this office with such requests again. I found out about it after the fact and bought my lawyer a bottle of bourbon as a thank you. Through the grapevine, I heard they're now considering splitting up. Her mom might move back to her old area and try to find a cheaper place there. Her sister is looking at moving in with a friend. My ex-wife is trying to find a studio she can afford alone, but $1,800 per month doesn't go far in this rental market. The irony is thick. They insisted on all living together, gave me an ultimatum about it. And now they're being forced apart anyway because they can't afford it. If they just had a conversation with me in the first place, asked instead of demanded, maybe we could have worked something out temporarily. I'm not heartless, but the entitlement, the ultimatum, the assumption that I just fall in line and keep paying, that killed any goodwill I had. As for me, life is pretty great, honestly. My apartment is perfect for my needs. I've decorated it exactly how I want: minimalist, clean, functional. Got a nice TV setup, comfortable couch, everything organized. Financially, I'm thriving, saving over $1,000 per month now. My down payment fund is back on track. I might actually buy a small condo next year. Socially, I've reconnected with friends I drifted away from during the marriage. Started going to weekly game nights, joined a recreational softball league through work, actually have a life again. Dating? Not yet, too soon. Still processing everything, but I'm not close to it down the line. For now, I'm just enjoying being single and having control over my own life again. The mutual friend who's been my source for all the drama asked me recently if I felt bad about how things turned out for them. Honest answer: no, not even a little. I feel bad that they're struggling. I'm not a monster, but I don't feel responsible for it. They made their choices. They prioritized their wants over our partnership. They issued an ultimatum expecting me to fold. I simply call their bluff. Actions have consequences. Ultimatums have risks. Treating your spouse like an ATM instead of a partner has a price. They're paying it now. Someone in the comments on my first post said, "Play stupid games, win stupid prizes." That stuck with me. That's exactly what happened here. They played a stupid game with that ultimatum and they won their stupid prize. I'm not the villain in this story. I'm just a guy who refused to be a doormat anymore. The really wild part, not one of them has actually apologized. Not my ex-wife, not her mom, not her sister. They're all still acting like I wronged them by not continuing to fund their lifestyle after being issued an ultimatum. The entitlement hasn't faded. They're still convinced they're the victims and I'm the bad guy. That tells me everything I need to know. I made the right call walking away. I got a text yesterday from a number I didn't recognize. It was my ex-wife using someone else's phone. "I hope you're happy. You destroyed our family." I didn't respond, just blocked the number. But for the record, I am happy. Happier than I've been in years. She destroyed our family when she decided her family mattered more than our partnership. When she issued an ultimatum, when she treated me like a wallet instead of a husband, I just stopped enabling it. The divorce is final. I'm free. They're facing the natural consequences of their actions. And I'm moving forward with my life. That's not destruction. That's liberation. Thanks for following this journey, Reddit. Tom, to close this chapter for good and write a better next one.